Hey everybody, just doing a review for this Baseus 160 watt 3-port car charger. And so yeah, a 160 watt car charger, pretty impressive. This is probably the only car charger you'll ever need for a while. And so just taking a look at the box, it's a normal Baseus product box right over here, and over the back it does give you the specifications. Right over here, each of these are like these specifications in different languages. And so basically one of the most impressive parts about this car charger, other than the fact that it does have a 160 watt output, is that you can actually use 160 watts at the same time. So you can use each of the ports at their max power at the same time, provided that you have a powerful enough cigarette lighter port that you actually plug the car charger into. But yeah, just taking a look at what's in the box, of course you get the car charger itself, a Type-C to Type-C charging cable, the manual, some stickers, and I believe this is the warranty card right over here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the warranty card. Yep, yes it is. And so yeah, you are able to use each of the ports at their max power at the same time. There is no limits for this car charger, which is really impressive because, considering that wall chargers almost always have a power allocation limit, this does not. However, in my testing, I'm going to show you guys that there is a limit, because the cigarette lighter port on this River 2 power station that I'm going to test with, I think it only has a 8 amp 12.6 volt output from the cigarette lighter port right over here. So I'm not able to use the full 160 watts at the same time from this car charger, but I'm going to see what I can do. So yeah, it is impressive in terms of the the raw specifications of this car charger, because a C1 right over here at the top is able to output 100 watts. C2 is able to output 30 watts, and the Type A port is also able to output 30 watts. And considering that you're able to use them all potentially at their max power at the same time, it's just pretty awesome to see. And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and start testing it out, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so just back with the Baseus 160 watt car charger. I have the car charger plugged into the River 2 power station right over here. And also when you plug it into a cigarette lighter port in your car, it's going to have this blue LED ring right around the charging ports, which makes it easier to see. And also it's really dim, and so it's not going to be a distraction while you're driving, so that's cool. And so yeah, in this case I do have my Accentu's power bank charging from the C1 port on the car charger. It's the only device charging from the car charger at this time, and I'm able to use the full 100 watts from the C1 port. And let me go ahead and see what I can pull out from the C2 port. Okay, there we go. Charging just had to restart right there from the C2 port. Doesn't look like I'm pulling about 30 watts. It looks like I'm pulling about 16 watts. So yeah, not too sure what's happening right there. Let me go ahead and test out charging my Accentu's power bank from the Type A port over the bottom of the charger, to see what I'm able to pull out from there. I'm pretty sure I can only pull out 30 watts from the Type A port if the device I'm charging is able to accept a certain charging protocol, which I don't think this power bank features, but let me go and see what happens. Okay, so it looks like I'm able to pull almost about 20 watts from the Type A port, with the only device charging being my Accentu's power bank right now. And so yeah, it seems like I'm able to output 20 watts from C2 and the Type A port, not quite 30 watts. I was hoping to output 30 watts from the C2 port at least, but that didn't happen. But yeah, anyways, let me go ahead and test out some multi-device charging with this car charger, and I'm going to be right back. Alright you guys, so in this case I do have my Accentu's power bank charging from the C1 port on the Baseus car charger, and so I'm going to charge my Baseus power bank from the car charger as well. I'm going to see what happens. Yeah, it looks like there's not enough power to go around in this case, so the Baseus power bank isn't even charging at all. And the C1 port is continuing to output 100 watts because technically the car charger should be able to output the max power of each of the ports at the same time. And so there is no power allocation in this case. It's just that each of the ports is able to perform at their max power, no matter how many devices you're charging. But in this case, because the cigarette lighter port on this River 2 power station isn't able to supply enough power to output the full 160 watts, my Baseus power bank isn't even charging right now. So that's just something to know. I'm pretty sure cigarette lighter ports in cars are more powerful than this cigarette lighter port on this River 2 power station. And so let me go ahead and just swap these out. Actually, I'm going to charge my Baseus power bank from C1 and the Accentu's power bank from C2. Alright, so I did switch out the power banks, and so I have my Baseus power bank charging from the C1 port, and it's able to charge at its max speed, which is 65 watts right now. And I have the Exciter's power bank charging from the C2 port, and that's charging at about 16 watts right now. And so that was the same charging speed that I had when I was charging the power bank alone as well. And so yeah, this is one way to charge devices. Of course, you're probably not going to be charging power banks with this car charger while you're driving, since the power needs of this Baseus power bank is lower than this Exciter's power bank. It's able to charge these two devices at the same time because there's enough power to go around with the car charger. Alright, you guys, so just back with my Note 9 charging from the Type A port at the bottom of the Baseus car charger, and I am able to fast charge it from the Type A port while also charging these two power banks right over here. And so the recharge speed for this Baseus power bank charging from C1, it didn't change its charging speed, so it's still charging at about 65 watts right here, and the Baseus power bank is continuing to charge at about 16 watts from the C2 port. And so yeah, charging works how it's supposed to, at least good enough for what the cigarette lighter port on this River 2 power station is able to provide. And so you will be able to charge a laptop from C1 and charge another two devices from the C2 and the Type A port while you're driving, and that's really impressive to see. You know, the inclusion of a Type C to Type C charging cable with this car charger is also a nice touch. And I'm just taking a feel for how the car charger feels. Yeah, I mean, it's just a bit warm right here because, I mean, this is where the connectors are. Of course, this part is going to be warm. But yeah, I mean, I would recommend this car charger if you are searching for one. No complaints. Of course, you know, the one complaint would be that, you know, I wasn't able to use the max power of each of the ports at the same time. But I'm going to put that on the cigarette lighter port for this River 2 power station. And so, yeah, I will see you all on the next video. All right? Goodbye.